once all the hard work is done, once you've cut the grooves out, got your mulch installed, your pine needles, your nuggets, whatever, I want to get on a maintenance schedule on these edges so that I maintain them and keep them looking nice and sharp. So you can still see the groove that the machine has cut. And this groove is about, gosh, that's about 4 inches deep right there. And you can see down here where the turf grass starts right here and goes down. Now, in the other video where we was doing the pine needles, you know, I like to let my needles fall down in here, and then right in this groove right here, in the V of it, is where I like to tamp, okay? Now, if you got mulch, nuggets, you want to let those fall down in here. Of course, you're going to see a little bit of the dirt on the backside. That's fine. You're going to learn why that is in a second, or at least for me anyway. But the better you get this tamped, your pine needles down in here, the less mess you're going to make the first 2 or 3 times when you're doing your maintenance type edging. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take my trimmer here, weed eater, and I'm going to grab a handle under the bottom side, like so, with my left hand. I'm going to use these bottom 2 fingers to control my trigger and to control the throttle on it. All right, kind of like that right there. Grab a shaft with my right hand, and I'm going to walk beside the bed with this held straight up in the air, making sure that my line as it's turning is straight up and down. If I lean up too far this way, I'm gonna cut the turf that way, and vice versa. If I get lazy and hold it way down here, my angle is gonna change, and you're not gonna have a good straight up and down line. Now, I know some people do this with a stick edger, and I mean, that's fine. You can do it that way. I just simply prefer to do it like this. And I prefer to hold you have to muscle the thing and hold it just like it ought to be to keep that line straight up and down. I do run it full throttle when I'm edging out my beds, because I want a good, clean, solid cut. I don't let my line get real short, because if I get my line gets real short, then it stops cutting as good. So I'll occasionally stop, find a hard surface, maybe against a tree, side of a tree or something, and give it a little bump and give me some more line right there so that my line never gets too short. And hey, please always wear glasses when you're doing this, because here's the deal. I'll always walk to my left. Okay, I'll never ever walk to the right. Now, if you're left-handed and you have to grab it this way, you're in trouble, because the rotation of this weed eater is going to throw the stuff back up in your face. So now, get this, I'm left-handed. Well, I'm actually both hands. I'm ambidextrous. I do a lot of things with the right, and I do a lot of things with the left. So I've had to train. This isn't natural for me to walk and hold the trimmer like this. I want to walk that way. Okay, I want to do it like this. But when I do it like that, I end up eating all kind of pine needles and grass and everything else. So do it like this way, so that the clippings and the little bit of pine needles you might catch throws behind you like that. Big safety deal. Now, Pete, what about those 2 or 3 little pine needles that when you're doing this edge and you throw them out in the grass right here? I ain't worried about that crap. What I'll do is take my mower, and on my last pass, I'll mow a strip right along the edge right there, and it just chops them right up, and you never know they're there. All right, now here's another big deal, and I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. When I mow my mower deck, I put my mower deck right here, right there on that line, all the way down. I take my time and I go slow around these edges, because if my deck, this is a commercial mower, and it's got incredible vacuum. So if I get over here, I'm gonna suck all them needles up. I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna make sure I take my time and go right along that edge. And this way, my grass right here beside the edge is the same height as it is out here in the yard. I don't dare, for any reason, take that weed eater and turn it back around the way you're supposed to use it and use it to cut this edge. Where my rule of thumb is, wherever I can get that mower deck, wherever the mower will cut the grass, I use the mower so that my height stays consistent. All right, now let's get down here real close and let's see what the string's doing. Now I'm gonna move this back a little bit right here so you can see. But see this piece of string? When I'm doing this, I'm only trying to let that string go to where my dirt is. I'm not trying to gouge it way down in here, because if I do that, I'm gonna really start digging my pine needles up. That's why it's important to hold it up to a certain extent. That way I'm just barely getting. All I want to do is cut the grass. I'm not trying to dig up the pine needles. So don't be gouging that thing way down in here, because if you do, you're really gonna make a mess and you're gonna dig up everything you just worked so hard for when you were tamping this. You're gonna dig it up and throw it in the yard. But hey, at the end of the day, remember, we're trying to make our entire property stand out. It ain't just about the turf grass. That's just one little part of it, one little tiny part of it. So hey, if you like this stuff, subscribe and share it and all that kind of stuff. I know you get tired of hearing me say that, but I like watching that number go up. I appreciate the fact that people are learning from little old me. I think that's the coolest thing in the world. Have a great day and get your edges right.